Milk has always been big in our society. It's been in everything, pretty much. All our television ads, all our supermarkets. It's a part of our life, and you can't have cereal without milk. Kind of like how you can't have cookies without a glass of milk. That's the impression that we get. That's what we've been raised to know. But the truth is, milk is actually not really that great for us. Today we'll look at how the production of milk is inhumane here in the United States. Milk isn't a good source of nutrients, and also the health risk of consuming milk. Moving to my first point, the reason why production of milk is inhumane here in the United States. When cows have calves, the calves are actually taken away from them so the milk industry can use the cows for their milk that they would actually give to the calves. The calves then would be taken away from their mothers and actually given milk replacements with cattle blood, which is pretty inhumane. That's like, say, when a baby is born, it's taken away from its mother, and instead of being fed breast milk, the baby's given Pedialyte or something like as a milk replacement, and in that milk there's human blood. That's pretty much the equivalent of what's happening in a comparison as to what's happening in the milk industry. That's only one reason why it's inhumane. Second thing, female cows are forced to conceive after their first birthday, and then after their first birthday, when they conceive, the whole process happens where the calves are taken away, and then the mothers are they're industrialized for their milk and for human consumption. And also, every 10 months, the cow is forced to conceive again, and the process continues and continues and continues until these cows can't be used for milk production anymore, and then they're sent to the slaughterhouse. Also, cows are given antibiotics and bioengineered hormones, and which actually helps produce more milk than is normal for a natural cow, and that's pretty inhumane. That's forcing cows to produce more milk than what they're usually supposed to produce, which in turn is unhealthy for them. It's unhealthy for us because the additives is not actually good for our health. Moving to my next point, it's not a good source of nutrients. The reason why is milk in America contains pesticides, antibiotics, and like I said before, bioengineered hormones, which is not really good for us at all. It's bad for our health, causes health problems, diseases down the line for us. It's just not a good thing. Cow's milk is made for calves, kind of like how human milk is made for humans. Cow's milk is high in protein, and a 65-pound calf who's on its mother's milk can grow to a 400-pound cow in a year from cow's milk. That's not good for us because that kind of growth period is never good. It's not necessarily all muscle growth, that's fat too. So having that kind of that diet of cow's milk normally is not good for our health. Also, contrary to belief in a lot of got milk ads, milk is not a good source of calcium. Cows like us get most of their calcium from a plant-based diet. So going back, cow's milk is not a great source of calcium. You can actually get more calcium from eating plants. moving to my next point, the health risk of consuming milk. Milk, contrary to belief, doesn't reduce fractures in bones. It actually increases the likelihood of you getting a fracture. And this study was done by a nurse's health study, and that's what they discovered was because of that. Fractures are more common for people who drink a lot of milk. Also, the more milk you drink, the higher chance you'll get osteoporosis in life. Other continents, Asia and Africa, their milk consumption is fairly a lot lower than ours in other countries, and with that, osteoporosis is at a much lower level in those on those continents, which is an interesting study. Also, higher intakes of calcium from dairy products and milk causes a much more greater increase for prostate cancer in men, which is it's an alarming trend, especially for me. I mean, now knowing that milk and dairy products cause that, it definitely makes me not want to consume high levels of dairy, or any dairy for that matter, because of that reason. You know, I want to live a long, healthy life. Also, in dairy products and milk, there's growth factor 1, which is a form of insulin, which also causes cancer growth in humans, which is also not a really good thing at all either. Moving to my next point, actually moving to my conclusion. Today we covered why the production of milk here in America is inhumane, also why milk is not a good source of nutrients, and also the health risk of having consuming milk in your daily diet. Hopefully today, from my briefing, you were able to take that consumption of milk is actually is something that you have to watch, and also dairy products to keep an eye on your health and stuff. It's important. And behind me here is my actual visual aid. I have some facts here, and also stuff that I reiterated throughout my speech. I just have it blown up here on the poster board. But also, what I really want to touch on is the actual pictures. This is a carton of cow's milk, and in here it has a lot of the facts that I talked about earlier about what is put inside cartons of milk and why it's not good for you, and how it could be actually detrimental to your health. But also I want to touch on is that from the inhumane side of milk production is that cows on these dairy farms actually sit in their waste while producing this milk, which that gets into the air, gets into the milk and stuff, and then this is stuff that we're consuming, which is not good for us. Also, in this picture right here, I have a cow that's hooked up to a machine, and into that machine it has vaccines and everything I talked about, pesticides, antibiotics, bioengineered growth hormones, and that's all getting sucked into this cow, which is getting sucked out of it and put into milk cartons, which is going to the market. And that is the truth. That is the real driving truth behind this picture, is that we're consuming a lot of this bioengineered milk. That's what it comes down to. A lot of these facts all came from PETA.org, HuffingtonPost.com, and also health.howstuffworks.com. I hope you enjoyed my briefing today, and like I said before, I hope you learned something today, and which will allow you to watch your consumption of dairy products and milk products, and hopefully helped educate you on this subject. Thank you for your time, and I'll be happy to answer any questions if you have them. I know this was a lot of facts, so please feel free to ask. Thank you.